This is not an AI generated picture of filthy blinds. These are my real life blinds and they are in desperate need of a cleaning. To clean, I usually use a microfiber towel or rag, some soap and water, and wipe down each slat like this. But to get them perfectly clean, it does take a long time. A good tip to make it a little bit easier is to get you a set of silicone tip tongs, wrap a rag around each end, dip it in some soapy water, and go to town. Using the tongs allows you to clean both sides of the slat you're on, the bottom of the one above it, and the top of the one below it. As you move down the blinds, you're able to get each side multiple times. But the problem with using these two methods is it always leaves a streak of dust where the string ladder is located. To remove that streak takes way more time than it should, and you have multiple locations on each slat to focus on. It's an exhausting task. Today, I'm going to figure out an easier way to do this. The top suggestion I received on how to clean blinds was to soak them in Dawn and hot water in the bathtub. This is a great idea and I did try it, but quickly realized my blinds are 70 inches and a standard tub is only 60 inches. If you're doing a smaller window, a tub soak may be the easiest option. Since my blinds are too big for a tub soak, I had to pull together a few items from the basement to rig up a way to suspend the blinds that would allow for easy cleaning. My rig consists of 2 ladders, 2 extension poles like you'd use for a broom or a paint roller, and a couple of clamps to hold them in place. The key here is getting the blinds far enough off the ground so you can see most if not all the slats. If you're trying to think of a setup for your blinds, I did find a few other interesting ideas on YouTube. These first 2 were able to hang on their fence or garage door somehow. In this third picture, a guy used a set of old brackets and would hang them on the back of his house or shed. That's pretty smart. The 4th and 5th options were hung using bungee cords. I really like this idea. It's easy and I may try it on a future clean. Then this last fella used some L brackets on the side of his truck. This would be easy if you have like an old shed out back. You could attach some L brackets and just leave them up for future cleans. Now that we know the options for hanging the blinds, let's get these down and get to cleaning. We'll start by removing the valance, then open the brackets, which probably required a flathead screwdriver instead of my fingernail. I wanted to keep the blinds extended because I wasn't sure if I'd be able to release them once I got them outside. While this was probably necessary, it did make carrying them awkwardly difficult. Not to mention these things are extremely heavy. It was a shoulder workout for sure.
Oh, damn.
Alright, that wasn't the easiest thing in the world, but they're here and ready. One issue I didn't consider is the small gap the poles went through. Due to this tight fit, I won't be able to adjust the blinds to an open or closed position for easier cleaning. That's why I think the bungee cord or L bracket ideas will be better for future cleans, but this still works. To start, I'm going to use some of this LA's Totally Awesome degreaser that you get from the dollar store. You don't have to use this, any cleaner will work. I just want to get something on there to help break up that filth before I start hosing it down. If you don't have a good cleaner on hand, an easy DIY cleaner is hot water in a spray bottle with a few drops of Dawn dish soap. Add 1:1 cleaning vinegar to make it pack an even more powerful punch. I like to give it a good spray down before adding the cleaning solution. Once good and saturated, let's spray on our solution and let it set for about 10 or 15 minutes. After letting the solution sit for a while, I could see the grime wash away during the rinse process. This is by far the cleanest these blinds have ever been. And another quick rinse for good measure, and oh yeah, to keep this girl from playing in this mess, I had to trick her with a truck ride to get her somewhere dry. I did end up driving around the block during the drying process because I felt bad. But speaking of the drying process, this is another quick tip. You can use your blower to speed it up. Since these blinds are so clean and out in the bright sun, I can see a few stains here and there, likely not even noticeable once inside. So while I have them hanging up and easy to work with, I think I'm going to use a microfiber towel and wipe them down. This step can be skipped. After all, avoiding cleaning each slat was the motivation behind finding this method, but I'm so surprised to see them this clean. I want to finish strong. Here's an example of one of those stains. It's barely noticeable, but also on there good enough that just cleaning solution and the hose will not get it off. It takes a bit of finger muscle. To save the shoulders a bit of strain, I'm going to try to get these as compact as I can for the trip back inside. But before we start that journey, take a look at how clean these are. I also cleaned the valance with our solution and it looks nice and bright. I didn't film the journey back inside as it was uneventful, but they are now clean and hung. I hope this video gave you some ideas on how to clean your blinds. If so, please leave a comment and let us know how it went.